Hey everybody, Bat Merc here. Merry Christmas. It's a Merry Christmas Metal Movies and Brewskis today. I'm going to be reviewing Conan Serpent War #2. The story goes so far, there's Conan the Barbarian. There's this, I believe it's Dark Agnes from France. You got Solomon Kane from, I believe it's 1600s or 1500s England, the Puritan, kind of like a witch hunter, kind of like The Witcher. Then you also have Moon Knight from Marvel, and there's Njord, another cat. They really haven't introduced him yet. But the story picks up. Basically, they're all fighting this serpent god named Set, and he is I don't know. He's basically the main monster that they're trying to fight. But there's this like consciousness that's talking to them through a mask and a dead corpse through different time periods, where they're both trying to like find different amulets, and then I don't know if they're gonna eventually meet up together or what. But there's this lady right here in like the Hyborian Age in the village of Stygia, and she's like a priestess or something like that worships the god of the god Set, the old snake gods. And in Conan the Barbarian, there's always like snake gods, and they're always worshiping snake gods, which is what Robert E. Howard would put into his writing of Conan, and that's actually pretty factual. Like people, like even back in biblical times, they worshipped snakes and stuff like that. So that it makes kind of a lot of sense, and that's probably why like him and Conan are very similar. He doesn't really like technology and stuff like that, and a lot of the snakes kind of represent draconian empires and whatnot. So that's probably why it's like that in the Robert E. Howard Conan canon. But yeah, so Set, this snake god, calls upon this priestess from this town in Stygia, the Hyborian Age, and basically wants her to find this amulet and basically stop the Serpent War team, however you want to call them, to stop them from finding it. But you find out basically that Conan is still working right now with Dark Agnes, and the mask right here is basically communicating to Conan and her, telling her that and Conan that they need to hunt down basically relics and stuff of Set to stop him from gaining power. Whilst over in England in 1584, you have Solomon Kane and Moon Knight. They're basically trying to do the same thing, and they're communicating with this corpse. And the corpse is supposed to be this guy that's like laying in bed in Texas in like the 1930s, which is kind of weird. It kind of reminds me of Robert E. Howard, and he's communicating. It's kind of confusing. He's communicating through the corpse and through the mask in the Hyborian Age and the 1500s from his bed in 1930s Texas. So it's pretty fucking far out. So they're going around trying to find these relics, and they're traveling through their lands, and Conan is basically they're traveling up through this like desert. It's a little splash for you, and he's going around trying to like, from my understanding, trying to earn money on the side just real quick, doing some pit fighting and doing some like fight clubbing, winning some battles with Dark Agnes by his side, and Moon Knight and Solomon Kane are going around taking names, kicking asses, and fighting monsters, purging the land of Northumbria. I think that's what it's called. Northumberland, yeah, and heading on to Newcastle, and then basically they're traveling through this desert, and they're starting to get at each other. She's he's tell her, he's like, slow up, woman. She's like, I know how to ride a horse, barbarian. It's not about skill in the saddle. The desert feeds on corpses of the impatient. If we do not give these horses enough water, they'll drop dead from heat. He's just, they're just getting at each other, and out of nowhere, boom, this big old snake comes out of the ground and eats their horses. Pretty crazy shit. And, just Conan, the man, Just goes right after it. Just takes it out. Boom. And then pulls this like jewel right out of the snake. It's pretty cool. And then she goes after it too. And then we jump to basically Solomon Kane and Moon Knight, and they're basically going up the British coast looking for one of Solomon Kane's buddies that's like a captain of a ship, and the ship pulls up on the side of him and boom, just blasts at him, So Moon Knight and Solomon Kane board the ship, and there's these snake guys. They're about to fight him, and basically Solomon Kane just blasts one of them. Boom. Man, I wish they'd make a Solomon Kane show like Witcher. That'd be really cool. Maybe Netflix can do it or something. And then Moon Knight just straight up grabs a cannon and holds it to the ground, and then boom. You're insane, Moon Man. Yeah, the Moon Knight's just like insane, but also effective. That's pretty cool. So, they're traveling around trying to find out, trying to find amulets, and you figure out that that the guy that's like talking to them in his bed from Texas through the mask and through the corpse, that he is actually like all bundled up within, spoilers, like a big like a worm. So I don't know if there's like a worm god and then a snake god connecting it or what, but the story's starting to unravel. I think it's pretty cool. There's also the other Conan book that's going on right now too. I forgot, the Savage Avengers. That one's really cool too. So you got Conan like going around. I'll start to maybe do a review on that one too. But Conan's meeting up with Doctor Doom, and he's having like he's eating with him, and it's pretty cool seeing the banter with them back and forth, And they're meeting up with Strange too in that other story. But yeah, I don't want to get too far ahead with that. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's got just barely enough action in it, to keep it going. So I like it. I like the story. I just wanted to kind of like pick up a little bit, the pace. I think it would be a little more cooler if it had a little more action in it, maybe a little more gore. But it is kind of like confusing in a way, and I wish it wasn't that confusing. I wish they would kind of tie up a little more of the stuff. So hopefully by the next issue, they kind of tie more things together. I want to see them I want to see their time periods merge together. Like hopefully, Solomon Kane and Moon Knight and Dark Agnes and Conan, they can all meet up maybe in the Hyborian age or something like that. Or Conan could go to Solomon Kane's age. That would be kind of cool. We haven't really seen him do that. We've seen him come to modern times, but we haven't seen him go to 1500s England. So that would be pretty cool. So yeah, it's a pretty cool book. One of my buddies told me about this beer by New Belgium. They got pretty good beers. This one's the VOODOO Ranger Imperial IPA. So yeah, they said it's a pretty good beer, and yeah, and they say it's pretty heavy stuff. Yeah, it's 9%. So we'll go ahead and take a crack at it. All right, a bit of smoke. Wow, that stuff is heavy. Heavy. You can really taste like the hop on the back end. It is definitely Imperial. Wow, that is a heavy IPA. Let me take another tug. Yeah, it's strong, but yeah, it's pretty good. Kind of slowly. Now that I taste it, it reminds me of like an Arrogant Bastard, maybe like a Double Bastard. But yeah, I definitely give the Serpent War 2 horns up. The New Belgium VOODOO Ranger 2 horns up. It's got a good bite to it. Reminds me of Arrogant Bastard. I like that a lot, so I'm giving it those 2 horns. This book is entertaining. It could be better, but it's entertaining, so it is still getting the 2 horns. We'll see how the story goes still, but you know what? That's it for now. If you guys like comics, if you like metal, if you like movies and brewskis, smash that like button, subscribe, ring the bell for metal, movies, and brewskis. Merry Christmas, folks. Have a wonderful evening.